Hello everyone, welcome back and Happy New Year, because hopefully I get this up either on New Year's Eve or on New Year's Day itself. Back with this wonderful rack that looks a little dusty in there. New rack, hooray, it's a 18U U-Systems rack, got it from an office clear out. I did replace the casters on it almost immediately because it has like this really cheap plastic ones that I'm surprised held any weight. So at the top you can see there's a Beringa light. Beringa? I guess that's how you say it. It's like one of these audio systems lamp things. It's not very bright, but when you're not having to record it's easily bright enough. It's got like 8 power, like, you know, standard CE13, is it CE13? C13 plugs on the back. So you can use it as a power distribution, but I don't, I just use it for the light. There's also one on the back which is super handy. Below that is a machine that I also got in the office clear out, which is a HP Poliant DL120 Gen 6. It's just got a Pentium, can't even remember, like a G6950 or something. 8 gigs of RAM, there we go, get the words right. 4 500 gig drives, one's a boot, and 3 are in a ZFS1, so RAID Z1 even. And that just has backup data on it essentially from my main ZFS storage system. I have some 4 gig RAM DIMMs where I was testing them in my R710. My R610, which now has 96 gigs of RAM in it, still has the X5650s. The Oracle system that now has 144 gigs of RAM in it, and now uses a single boot SSD. These are the Kingston 120s, same as the Dell. I haven't got any more blanks though, so whoops. As you can see, I normally use the Oracle system, but the Dell's on at the minute because for some reason Proxmox 5.1, I'm having a few issues with 5.1 actually, to be fair. To be unfair, I guess. No, to be fair. I never really have issues with Proxmox, but 5.1 I'm definitely having a few iffies with. For instance, this machine now only boots into read-only mode continually. Don't know why. I haven't reinstalled yet, but I don't really want to reinstall because they're in a cluster, and that means I've got to tear it out of the cluster, reinsert it into the cluster and all that crap. So for now I'm just running off the R610, but I was only ever running off one anyway. And one of the other problems I'm having with Proxmox 5.1 is the API, where with curl it just does some very strange things, like just not responding or saying that there's TLS issues, blah 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 blah. Anyway, onwards. Still got this 1TB of flash. Haven't really done anything with it since, well, for ages really, because it's just one of those things. 9 450s in a RAID 5, providing main VM storage for these two machines, and that's bolted into my trusty R710, which I was testing this RAM in, and this has X5670s in it now, because of playing around with ZFS and seeing if it would benefit it. Got 3 UPSs at the bottom, so this is the 3000, so that's 2.7 kilowatts, the 2200, these are both 2200s as you can tell, but the one's much newer than the other. It's a bit dirty apparently. However, you can see this one isn't plugged in. Well, it is plugged in, but it's not on, because for some reason as soon as I turn it on, it trips the breaker. And that was a firework. Yes, New Year's. Yeah, this trips a breaker weirdly, even when nothing else is on, even if I move it to another breaker, so most probably going to scrap it. I got this at the same time I got the rack and the lamp and the one server. It's all free, so might as well just get rid of it, I guess. So as I was saying, around the back, I got another one of these Beringa lights. Pretty good. Still got the Quanta LB6M freaking flying along. I've been playing with, in work, we've got 2 Dell Enforce 3024s, I think they are? Can't remember. I think that's the model, or is that the 1 gig model? I don't know. Much easier to play around with than this thing, this Quanta, because it's trying to behave like it's just a weird switch, but it's a really rock solid switch if all you need is 10 gig and some VLANs and a bit of LACP. So around the back of here we can see we've just got one 1 gig link into this and one for the management that I'm currently borrowing off the R610 because I don't really use the 1 gig links on the... What is this cable doing? I don't really use the 1 gig links on here, bar one of them for the CoroSync. So yeah, not much has really changed. As you can tell, this flash isn't even plugged in. The disk array, I should really work on getting a redundant connection to it, but I don't know how this PERC H800, running this, yeah, H800 RAID, blah 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 blah. Better performance than trying to do a ZFS array on it, because what I'm doing is VM storage mainly. Yeah, nothing really has changed. So this is where I say I guess I set myself a goal for next year, and that is, unfortunately, despite how much I love this R610 and the X4 170 Mark II below it, is I really need to work on something that uses less power. Especially considering I'm not really running much in terms of being very RAM hungry anymore. The power cord didn't look like it was in. Like, I'm sat below, I think I'm sat below 20 gigs of RAM usage on this, despite having like, 20 VMs running on it. It's mainly because I've dumped Windows pretty much. I don't run the Windows VMs anymore. Like, those accounted for like easily 32 gigs of RAM, and there was only 2 of them. But I don't run them anymore, so I mainly Linux. So I could most probably even containerize them and get even less RAM usage. But I don't know. But yeah, I want to look at less power usage, whether I move to like standard i7s or single socket Xeons. Something along that line. I most probably want to stay with either the single socket Xeons because of the ECC RAM support, because that's one thing I feel is a little necessary, even if the dual huge core Xeons, unless I just go balls to the walls and get really new Xeons. Could I replace the equivalent of 48 threads with one machine? Most probably, but it'd be pretty expensive. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a great new year and set yourself some good goals. And yeah, I'll catch you next year, where hopefully I make a few more videos. See ya.